Hi, everyone. It's Julian LeBlanc. I am going to request someone to join me.
Hi.
Brittany!
Hi. Okay, I'm gonna adjust this now that I see what I look at Instagram Live. We love
I
Instagram
know.
Live. Okay,
I'm sort of
that is
it's
better.
it's kind of like me as well. I'm like, okay, let's figure this out.
Right?
Um, I'm sitting, I have my phone up on a book just so that it kind of levels up a little bit. What's behind you? I love all that.
Oh, okay. So this is when I graduated in 2019 with my undergrads. That was what my mother put in my room. That was like, "Congratulations, Brittany, you graduated." And then this wall right here is my martial arts wall. So that is where I have all my world championship plaques. It's like we actually put that together, I think like 2 years ago, because I had all these plaques and I had no idea what to do with them. And so we shoved them on this wall and said they have a home,
I love that.
I guess.
I absolutely love that. I agree. A lot of people are saying, Brittany, you're stunning. Absolutely.
Guys,
She is. Where are your earrings from? Someone just asked.
I think Express, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, I think Express. But I did get them like 2 years ago, so they may have something similar to this. But I was I gotta compare to you, so I gotta come ready to go.
I know, we have to come ready to go. I'm super excited that you're the first guest on my new IG Live series called Empowerment. So it's all about the power behind what empowers us, what
Yeah,
inspires us. And you're a very, very, very inspiring person. You know that,
thank
right?
you. It's so crazy to me because obviously coming off of a national TV program, you really don't know how the impact and or how you're perceived when you're cut off from the world for 3 months. But I have just been blessed with the most overwhelmingly positive response from like everyone. And to me, it's just meant the entire world to me that has been the response. And so I feel so thankful. I feel so blessed. And if I inspired even one person, then I did my job. You know what I mean? But I have inspired so many to do things that I knew they could already do, which has been so amazing. Like it's just been crazy.
Yeah. And for you, like even before Big Brother,
Yeah.
um, what are the things that would inspire you to kind of put yourself out there? Because
Yeah.
you're someone that really empowers other people to be themselves and be their true selves. And I
Thank
just
you.
wonder, like, even before Big Brother,
Yeah.
um, you were doing that already. And so, what was it before Big Brother that kind of pushed you to really be your true, authentic self?
You know what? For me, I've always had an amazing village. And my family has always told me that being authentic and being you is the best gift that you can give anybody. And it's the best gift that you owe to yourself. And so for me, I have never cared of what anybody thinks. I walk into a room and I'm unapologetically Brittany. And I walk out of a room and I'm still
Yes.
unapologetically Brittany. And the reason why that is because I've just worked way too hard in my life to try and act as anybody else. I just can't do it. And so for me, my inspiration, my motivation has always been that I have so many dreams and goals that I aspire to do in my lifetime. Big Brother was one of those goals and dreams, absolutely. But I have so many other dreams and goals that I want to accomplish that I wake up every morning and I'm like, we got this, let's go. Like I have one life. I'm going to do as much as I possibly can in this lifetime to make sure that I accomplish anything and everything that I set my mind to. Because I know that whenever I set my mind to something, there's a very good shot that I do it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's a blessing. But like I said, it really stems from the fact that my family is my rock and my core, and they've shown me that I can accomplish anything as well, which I think is really important.
And we have that in common, actually, in terms of like being unapologetically who we are.
Yeah.
Uh, that's the same thing for me as an LGBTQ plus entrepreneur. I'm proud to be who I am. I'm pretty vocal about my upbringing in foster care from
Yeah.
age 2 to 18, and there were a lot of moments where people told me I would have to do certain things to fit in, and there's certain things I'll have to conform to so that society accepts me more.
Yep.
Um, have you gone through a bit of that as well?
Yes. I mean, think about it. I have a disability that deals with the brain. any disability dealing with any neurological disability or disorder, unfortunately has this stigma that we're either less than, we're difficult, or we're different. And I don't really know where that came from or where that stemmed from, but it's just so untrue. But I have been told multiple times in my life that I wouldn't, couldn't, or would not be able to do something. I have been told that, oh, because of her disability, she's not going to be able to do this, or because of her diagnosis, she's not going to be able to accomplish that. And anything that people have told me that I couldn't do, I've just kind of beaten with a hammer and said, ha ha ha, bye. And that's the greatest feeling, is proving people wrong in that regard. But no, like I said, that's just kind of the stigma that comes with autism, because you really, at least from my experience, the people that get autism the best are people who either have a family member or loved one that has it. You either have it yourself or you have worked with people with autism. A lot of people just don't understand what autism is, and they don't understand that it's a spectrum. There's not just like one set mold for people who have autism in children and adults. It's a spectrum. Everyone goes through their own journey. So for me, I think that that's just been something that's key. But no, it definitely has happened to me, unfortunately, but it has.
Yeah, you're already making me tear up a bit. Not this early on. Come on, people. This wasn't supposed to happen, where I'm already tearing up early on. Yeah, because one of my foster brothers growing up was autistic, and
Hey, we share the same superpower.
yeah, you really do. And what was really cool was when you were on the show saying that to 5 million plus people,
Yeah.
You were kind of breaking down the wall there. You were saying, I don't fear this.
No.
It's a superpower. It's what makes me so special and uniquely unique.
Yeah. I was so nervous that day when I had to give that speech. I can't even tell you. I was literally sitting in, because they told me we had a rehearsal for the finale about 2.5 hours before, or no, it was like 3 hours before they went live.
Yeah.
We had a rehearsal kind of thing where they brought each juror in individually, and they kind of had us sit down, because obviously they were going to talk to us about the secrets that we were going to reveal. So we could not be there together. And they basically sat me down and were like, okay, so you're going to make your speech. Here's a sheet of paper. You're going to go back to your dressing room. You have 2.5 hours. And I said, what? So I'm sitting there. I mean, as the theater person in me, I'm walking back and forth with my sheet in my hand. I'm like, so this is exactly what I'm going to say. Rehearse the monologue, see how much I can memorize, and go from there. And then I get in on stage, like when we're actually in the finale, and I'm like shaking my leg. I'm like, okay, Julie, can we vote? Can we vote now? Can we vote now? Because in the next segment, I'm saying my speech. Can we vote? What do I need to do to speed this along? But yeah, it happened, and it was perfect. I mean, I was nervous as heck, but it was just the way that it came out. I was very happy.
Yeah, I screamed when you did that. I literally, like, a sound came out of my mouth. I don't even know what it was. I don't know what I said, but something came out. Someone just said, my baby girl has autism. I love Britini. My baby is 3, and she just started saying new words. Thank you, Britini.
Oh my gosh, wait, that's so coincidental though. She said that she talked at 3, right?
Yeah.
She was speaking at 3. So I didn't speak until 3.5. That's so funny. But it's just like that means the world to me. And I've had, because like I always say, it's not just about my story. It never is just about my story. It's about everybody getting the opportunity to share their stories as well. It's not just about me. I just had an opportunity to make it a little bit more well known that we can accomplish more than people think we can, and that the stereotypes that are around our diagnosis do not define us, and that we are way more than that. But it's about everyone sharing their stories, man. It's a community. That's why neurodiversity is such an amazing community.
Absolutely. Some people here might know I'm the president of one of the biggest acting schools for youth in North America, and we have a UK division now, which is super cool. We have a lot of students that are proudly neurodiverse, and what would you say to them as they're pursuing their dreams right now, Britini?
Oh my gosh, I mean, I relate so much to your students myself, because like I told you, I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Theater Performance. I have 2 bachelor's degrees. That's one of them. So I've been performing and acting since I was 7. I've been doing, I mean, my path has really only been theater. I've never really done any film or TV work, but I've taken classes in college. Obviously in a BFA, you have to take it all. So I've done film and TV classes. But no, just to everyone who pursues that, I mean, go for it. I mean, sky's the limit. The cool thing about acting is the fact that you get to play. In
Yeah.
acting, there's no rules. I mean, obviously follow your objectives, keep in character, follow your objectives, get what you want and keep moving on. But like, you get to play in acting. And
Yeah.
that's what I love about acting is there's that freedom. There's that freedom in communication with your scene partners. There's freedom in a monologue because it's just you and you get to do whatever you
Yes.
want to do.
Yeah.
But there's just so much freedom in acting. And
Well, we
there's so
see
much
that.
creativeness
Yes,
in
we see
acting and
that too.
creative freedom.
Absolutely, Brittany. And we see that too. Like with my students, we see how open and free they are. They're not
Yep.
overthinking things, right?
No.
They have really good instinctual responses to situations and how things should be said.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the adults that will overthink the lines and the situation and what's
Yeah.
happening in the scenes. And kids, they're going off what they feel in the moment. Something that someone just wrote that I think you should hear, Brittany. Emily Fernandez just wrote, she knows someone who was diagnosed at 47, and she said that some people go all their life not being diagnosed.
Yep.
That's, yeah. Is there a way? I don't think that's often talked about, in
No, it's
terms of,
not. And I think the really interesting part about that is it's either kind of, at least in my experience, you kind of get diagnosed in 3 different phases. There's either you get diagnosed very early on, which was me. You either get diagnosed in your teenage years, like younger, like 10 to 15 age range, or you're
yeah,
diagnosed older. And I feel like, and it's just for me, I'm so thankful that I was diagnosed young because early intervention was what changed the game for me in terms of being able to socially interact with people. I mean, when I was diagnosed no eye contact, nonverbal, no social cues, and repetitive sims. So when I was diagnosed, I was very heavily on the spectrum.
yeah,
And that was when my mom pushed for therapy. And that's when that's when the therapy that we did 40 hours a week changed my life. And that was ABA therapy. But no, for me, I think having the diagnosis, whether you have it early, middle, or older, I mean, you're still part of our community. You're still part of the neurodiversity community. We accept you with open arms and we are here for you. And that is the one thing that like I've heard a lot from at least the diagnosing of older, only from what I've heard, and I can only speak on that. But a lot of the fear of people getting diagnosed older is, well, we haven't been in it. So are we really here? Or like, are we going to
yeah,
be accepted because we were diagnosed older? Because like we haven't known this our entire lives. Of course you are. Of course you're accepted with
yeah,
like that's not even a question in my brain. And the fact that they have to think about that really saddens me because they have been living their entire life without this diagnosis. And I can only imagine what it is like when you get it, when you've gone through so much in your life. But I love everyone and I support everyone in that regard. And I think it's just a beautiful thing. But no, that isn't talked about a lot. And I think it should be more talked about in terms of like diagnosing and ages that it is. And when it's
yeah,
more common too.
yeah. No, 100%. Jamie just said to us right now, I'm on the spectrum. Thanks for saying that. We see
I
you,
love
Jamie.
you. I
Yes,
love
we
all of
love
you
you.
guys. Are you kidding?
And Christian from Big Brother, your season is here.
Oh my God.
Hi.
Hi, Christian. Hi, Bessie.
Hi, Christian.
He actually sent me a really good motivational video this morning. It was great. I'm very excited.
Yeah,
I like watched it and I got very motivated.
he's such a sweetheart. Honestly,
He
I love
is.
him. Brittany, you look gorgeous. She absolutely does.
Guys, y'all can't hype me up like this.
One of my amazing students, Sebastian, is here. He is actually, it's been announced that he's going to be in the upcoming Disney Plus Peter Pan and Wendy, the new Peter Pan and Wendy coming out on Disney Plus.
Okay,
He
Mr.
plays.
Sebastian.
I know he plays an iconic character, Nibs. So that's
He
so
plays
cool.
Nibs.
He plays freaking Nibs.
Yay! Oh my God,
Nibs.
Sebastian, congratulations.
Yeah, so you can support my students over at leblanc.school.acting if you want to give us a follow there.
Absolutely.
leblanc.school.acting. Now let's talk about Ashley, Britt, I look at a center. You work at a center with autism with kids. Oh wow, Ashley,
I love
that's
that.
amazing.
And
Thank you for sharing
honestly,
that.
Ashley, you're doing such incredible work, and I just want to say thank you. I love that one. Really important to acknowledge feelings in mental health and autism. That is so key. That is That is so key. And it's crazy because obviously autism has the component of the
Yeah.
nonverbal component. Having, like, for me, I repeat things a lot. At least I used to. Have gotten a lot better at it in terms of my communication now. But it was so crucial for my teachers. Like, whenever I went to a class, I was like, you got to give me a second to, like, get this out. It's going to take me 2 minutes, but I'm going to say it. You just got to give me like 2 minutes to get it out. And I would just ask for that patience and that grace from all of my teachers. But it is so important to ask those questions and check in and give anyone with
Yes.
autism a little bit more patience, because we are the same. We just need a little bit more time. I
Yeah.
still do this day. I mean, I sub vocalize to understand my life, you know? So for me, like, allowing me to have that time to sub vocalize and hear things to understand it, that just takes patience and grace, you know?
Yeah. Now, we've seen them. We love them. We're obsessed with them. Okay. Your TikTok videos. Okay. So those TikTok videos, you were doing those before Big Brother.
Yes.
And where did you come up with the inspiration that you were going to do the most electric, energetic dances I have ever seen before? Where?
You know what? So it was during, obviously, so this is kind of like the timeline. So May of 2019, I graduated with both of my bachelor's degrees. I got 2 bachelor's degrees in 4 years. 2019 to 2020, I'm touring on the road with Missoula Children's Theater. Then in 2020, in March, obviously we get shut down because of COVID. And I was really upset and bummed because I was like, well, now I can't dance anymore. So I was like, all of my kids on the road all had TikToks. They were all like 10 to 18. And they were like, Miss Britini, you need to get a TikTok. And I'm like, no, because all of you have one. So therefore I can't get one. And so I come home and I'm like, okay, like maybe it's a good idea to like get a TikTok, because I wanted us to keep dancing and learn from different choreographers. And that's exactly what it started as. I just started doing really famous choreographers choreo just to keep the engine rolling and just the rest is off.
So you were doing choreo, like, were you also doing some of those like TikTok viral dances, or no?
Yes.
You were doing those too. Okay.
Yes. So I was doing viral dance videos, and I was also doing dancers from like choreographers I had always looked up to, and a ton of them followed me early on because they were like, "Brit, like you're pretty, like you're a good dancer," and I was like, "Oh, thanks." I don't know what I'm doing, but like I would always like fangirl whenever they followed me, and then it just turned into me just wanting to dance for dance purposes, to me having a couple viral videos that hit really well, and then me dancing for positivity. I've danced for countless cancer survivors, leukemia survivors, sexual assault victims. I've danced for children fighting cerebral palsy. I've danced for different people on TikTok who are fighting mental illnesses. I dance for so many different causes, and I dance for positivity and joy, and I love that that's what I get to do, and I love that that's what I get to spend my time doing now, which is just the best. And now every day, like I'm like, okay, so what dance am I learning today? And I'll like go on my For You page and I'll start swiping, and I'm like, ooh, this one looks fun. Ooh, this one looks fun. Like today was Ugly Sweater Day at my school. The teachers had a contest, and I was like, ooh, I totally know what dance I'm doing today. It's currently on my Instagram.
You knew.
But
you knew. You were like, yeah. Oh, can we do the snap together? 3, 2,
1.
There we go. Oh, hi, Will and James. We have Will and James here from The Amazing Race.
Oh my God. Hi, Will and James. Oh, I met them at Hearts of Reality. They're literally the nicest people. Will and James are amazing.
I love them.
I love them.
We're sending you hearts. Now, where do you want to see things go for the future now? Like you have such a special aura about you.
Thank you.
That transcends so much. Like I can see big things coming for you. So like what's on the docket? What do you want to see? What are some goals you want to set for 2022?
For 2022, I have a couple goals for myself. I would say number one goal is to just be happy is number one goal. Be happy doing whatever I'm doing. But I would say main goals is to, it's just so funny because I have no idea what this next year has to hold, but it's always been my dream to audition in LA, for both film, TV, and through the dance circuit. So I plan on going out to LA and at least doing one round of the audition process in LA and seeing how that goes. It's always been my dream to do it. So I might as well put myself out there, see what happens, and then we'll go from there.
And some
Um,
LeBlanc collabs. There may be some LeBlanc collabs there. We're
there
not
may
going to
be
say
some
anything.
LeBlanc collabs in the works. I want to go to New York, and I've never gone to New York City and taken a dance class. So that is on my bucket list for 2022, is just to go to New York City and take a dance class. I would love to get my own classroom for next school year, because obviously with Big
Okay.
Brother, I wasn't able to take my own classroom. So I would
Yeah.
love to get my own room for next year and be able to do that. 2022 is also going to involve passing all my certification exams so that I'm certified. So we're going to study a lot.
You got a lot. Yeah, you have a lot of that. Wow. And are
And then more
there,
collabs too. 2022, I want to
yeah,
travel way more. I want to travel everywhere in 2022. That's why I kind of love my schedule now, because I kind of have weekends off like if I need a weekend off, I have it.
yeah,
And I love that, because my boss have just been so great with like, hey, I'm going to travel here for the weekend. Go ahead. Hey, I'm going to travel here. Go ahead. So that's been a blessing too, because I really like, I want to travel. I want to continue collaborating and just meeting more people and just being able. And I have a couple speaking opportunities next year for speaking on autism in my journey and stuff like that. So that's very exciting. But no, I don't know. Like, I think there's so much that I want to do in 2022, but there's so much I also don't know what's going to happen in 2022.
Well, that's the thing.
So,
Like, it's almost like you have to have, you're right. You have to have that really good balance of setting goals and
yep,
things that you want to, yeah, things you want to do, but also giving that little bit of space for things to just happen and surprise
correct,
you.
correct.
Because honestly, you never know what's coming. I mean, I'm
Nope.
sure when you were going through the audition process for Big Brother, it's a similar thing where like you go through those steps, you don't actually, I mean, did you expect to get on, or was
No.
there a bit of a surprise, honestly?
Oh no, there was an absolute surprise. My every round, so I did 12 interviews in 6 months. I actually did, from what I've been hearing too throughout the cast, I think I did one of the more amounts of interviews. Because I was constantly doing interviews and talks and things like that. But no, I mean, my family was making bets on when I was gonna get cut. Like, we all would like make money bets, and we'd be like, okay, this is the run, and I would make them on myself, like, oh, this is the run I'm getting cut. And I would put 20 bucks on the table. I get the call being like, oh, you're in the next round. I'd be like, can I take it back?
When was it that you actually went, wait, could I actually get on this? What was the moment that you started to go, hold on?
Top 25. That was the moment. For me, I had made it to top 50, and that was in April. And then they said, no news is good news. If you don't hear anything from us, that's a good sign. So it was like a month and a half that I was waiting between top 50 and top 25. And I was like, okay, maybe they like forgot about me. And then I was at the Buffalo Zoo, and I was talking to my mother about it in like a random day in May. And all of a sudden, as I'm talking to her about it, I get a ding on my phone. This is no lie. I could not make this up. I'm talking to her about, oh, maybe I made top 25, maybe not. I look at my phone and they're like, congratulations on top 25. And I go, what? what? What is that? And when I saw top 25, I was like, okay, this could be happening. That was the moment when it sunk into me, because obviously what I was the most nervous for in terms of it being a social experiment, as Big Brother is were they going to take someone? I mean, obviously they had Ian Terry that was already on the spectrum, but
Yeah,
were they going to take another person that has a neurological disorder on that show, in terms of it's a social experiment, the social pressures are very high,
yeah,
is this going to be something we do? And I was very, very thankful that they loved me and they loved my story and they let me be as authentic with it as possible. I never had to say anything I didn't want to in terms of my disability on TV. They were so patient with me, and they always wanted me to say exactly what I wanted to say. Anything I wanted to say on my disability was on my terms, and that was
which,
always how it was.
which is so cool. And oh, hi, Kemi. Kemi's here
Hi,
from Big
Kemi,
Brother.
my lovey.
Love Kemi.
My New York
Yeah.
City lovey. Now she moved.
Uh, I know I love Kemi. Kemi doesn't know me, but I know you, Kemi, and I love you. All right, so we're sending so much love today. We can't help it.
I
That's what
know.
we're
We're
doing.
sending so much love to everybody that's in this live. We
It's
love you
just
all.
it's we love you all, and there's so many great comments coming in. Um, so one thing that people ask me all the time, and I have to ask you, is
Yeah.
when you go into the diary room, okay, and you can tell me if you're not allowed to say this or answer. When you go into the diary room, do you actually Like, is there a bit of like back and forth with you talking with the producer before you actually sit and do the actual like performance part of the diary room,
So
or
it kind of depends on the time that you go in the DR.
yeah,
So for me, actually, the DR was kind of my sub-vocalization space. So I actually got to, in the DR, every time I went in, I would just say, hey, I need 5-10 minutes. And I would sub-vocalize and talk out my entire day. I'd be like, these two people were in this room. They were in this room. They were here. They were there. Why were they in there? And I would like go through it myself. And none of that was being recorded. That was literally just like me being able to sub-vocalize so that I understood what I was seeing. Because that's
yeah,
why in the house, I always sat in the kitchen, was because in the kitchen, I knew exactly where everybody was going.
you
Like
were
I
in the
knew if you
kitchen a
walked
lot.
that,
Yeah,
I
you
always
were.
was in the kitchen. So kitchen, pretending like I was cooking food. I can't cook anyway, so it's cool, but I did cook in the jury house, fun fact. But no, I would always stand in the kitchen so I knew where everybody was going. But for me, that was how the DR always started for me, was that I could sub-vocalize. And then we would sit down and go. Sometimes I'd sit in there and they would just be like, hey, Britt, we have one thing to tell you. And you're going to like, we have one question to ask you, ask the question you're up. But so, I mean, you sometimes are in the DR for 3 minutes. You sometimes are in the DR for 2 hours. Just depends on how much they need from you.
Yeah. Is it the same voice you always hear on the other side, or not
No.
necessarily? Because, you know, different Big Brothers are different. Like, I know, and I'm pretty big fan. So, UK Big Brother, you always hear the voice of Big Brother in the DR.
Oh,
Always. Yeah,
yes.
live in the shows. In Australia, you hear the voice of Big Brother throughout the actual show and in the DR. But in the US and Canada, you don't actually hear the voice
Yeah.
um, on the other end.
No. So well, obviously we called him Colonel. We hear Colonel to get us to the DR. And then there's obviously they got to swap in rotations. So there were seven, eight, 7 or 8 that like filtered in. And we always knew if we got called in at one time, we get this person. If we got called in at this time, we get this person. We always knew that that would happen.
Yeah.
But no, I think we had 8 on a cycle, like 8 cycling on their different days. And we always, like I said, we always knew that like if I was going in a Thursday, I would get this person. If I was, and then obviously
Yeah.
with me always being on the block, you know, your certified block queen over here. I always got that same speech from the same producer, and we always had a moment of like, I hate this
Yeah.
speech, and then I walked out.
Block Queen, but you made the best of it. I mean,
Oh,
fabulous
of
Block
course.
Queen.
You have to. I mean, I always knew that I was the pawn. I always knew weeks 2, 3, and 5, I was not going home. That's why, like, for me, I was the only person not in the Royal Flush or the cookout to make it to jury. I'm the only one. And that's a testament to the personal relationships that I had in the house, and the fact that even though I wasn't in a major alliance, no one wanted to really get rid of me because they knew that I was a benefit to their own games. And so that was my main focus. Obviously, being on the block, I got unsolicited time with anybody that I wanted to because I was vulnerable and I could talk to you whenever
Yeah.
I wanted to. So I would constantly be pulling people, not even to talk about game, but just to talk about life, because I wanted to establish that relationship to get me into the next week. But no, I just
I know.
it's
Well,
you know, the block was interesting because even though you're not the target on the block, like I knew I was never the target. Even though you're not the target, that does not mean you still don't feel pissed or you don't feel upset that you're in that situation and then you
yeah,
have to go through it again. I knew I wasn't going home, but that doesn't still stop the emotions of like, I'm not safe until Julie tells me the other person's going home, you know?
exactly. Exactly. That's the thing. It's like you're still up there. You're
Yeah, I'm
still
still up there.
potentially,
But I
you're
mean,
still
we had
potentially,
some fun speeches. We had to make it fun when we were there.
and you did. You had some of the best little speech raps that I had ever heard. If you were ever asked to go back, would you go back?
I would, in a heartbeat. Big Brother gave me the opportunity of a lifetime. And if they ever asked me to play again, I would, in a heartbeat, say yes and pack a suitcase.
And I think you'd be good. You know why? Because I think you're actually someone that is honoring the Big Brother experience, but you're also living your life to your fullest. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you.
Like there's been people in the past, and you know, everyone has their own journey, and I
Yeah.
respect that. But there have been some people who they want to stay in that Big Brother world. They don't want to do much out of that, and that's okay. But I can see that you're branching out, but you're still honoring the experience that you had.
Yeah.
You know,
No, for
which is
sure.
pretty cool.
I mean, I love Big Brother. believed in me so much throughout the entire casting process. And I give all the credit to my casting producer's name was Asia. She's amazing. And then Jesse, obviously. Jesse was so supportive. Both of them were so supportive of me just being me. And they never told me to tone it down. They never told me, hey, say this instead of this. No way. They were like, Britt, say whatever you want to. They're like, just speak from your heart and speak you. Just show me you and you're good. And I'm like, okay. You sure there's like not like anything specific you want me to say so that I can like move on? I don't know.
Yeah. Now, when Brittany's having a bad day, we all have bad days.
We do.
What do you do to turn that around? What advice can you give when someone's just feeling like they're in a rut? They don't feel like they want to get out of bed. We all have those moments sometimes. We just don't feel like getting up, doing anything.
Yeah. You know, for me, whenever I'm having a bad day, I do three things. The first thing is I take 3 deep breaths, and I just kind of like center myself. The second thing I usually do is I put on a really motivational song with a really good backbeat. And the third thing that I do is I realize that I woke up today. I'm thankful to wake up today. And even though the day is not starting the way that I planned, I can turn this around, and or I try to look at it my best with the glass half full instead of half empty and say, you know what, today may not be the best day, but tomorrow can be. Or in the next 2 hours, it can be. Or, hey, I'm looking forward to this thing that's coming up soon. Like, let me get ready for that. Like, I try and find forward to. Hey, I've got this. Like, this event's coming up next. I also just, I mean, I like also sometimes when I'm having a bad day, I just like watching like videos. Like I watch like watching funny videos sometimes, or just like motivational, inspiring videos. But like breathing for me really centers me and kind of gets me back to like, let's put this in perspective. I can do this. This is one thing. I can do this.
And that's what I love about breath work too. It connects you to your core,
It does.
your center. And when you're feeling at peace with your own center, you know, it's such a good launch point.
Yep.
For what you want to do. Hi, Jacob. Love you, Jacob.
Hi. Breath is
hi,
the center
Alicia.
of everything. I actually got to, in my BFA, I got to take a class. Literally, it was just on breath and breathing. And it was a speech course, but it was focused on that. But it was so fascinating. We would lay down and just breathe for 45 minutes. And then we would get graded and walk out the door. It was the best class ever. I mean, when you can walk in and just breathe, sure. Sign me up.
I like that. Who are people that you've looked up to growing up?
Mother. Hands down, my mother. My mother is my rock. She is the reason why I'm the woman who I am today. She single-handedly, with my father, fought for me to get that 40 hours of ABA therapy. She shows me every day the woman that I hope to become when I'm her age. The mother that I hope to become. Like that, like my mother is my everything. My mother and my Nana. Wow. My Nana's also Canadian. She's from Renfrew, in Ontario. So she's full Canadian, but she lives in
Canadian ties.
I do have Canadian. We have Canadian and American Thanksgiving every year. I get the best of both worlds. But no, my Nana has just always been there for me as well. And she is just truly one of the most amazing people I've ever met and one of the most remarkable women I've ever met. So I would say the both of them all the time.
That's beautiful. And in terms of Britini in 20 years, this is one of my questions. Britini in 20 years, what is one thing that you hope you will have accomplished by then that will leave your trail of empowerment for people that look up to you? In 20 years.
Wow, in 20 years.
Yeah, that's a big one. What's one thing? And look, there could be 100 things that you accomplish, and there will be.
No, I got mine.
You're unstoppable. Okay, what is it?
Opening up my own theater company for children with disabilities. Opening up my own theater and dance company. It's been a dream of mine ever since I was 14. Yeah, for sure.
The tears are coming again. Stop. Wow, that would be so fulfilling for you.
Yeah.
And such an opportunity for you to lift up other young people. That's what I do at LeBlanc. You know, it's Sebastian just said, love that.
Ah,
I think
Sebastian, I love you. I mean, I cannot wait to watch one Disney Plus, my friend. Don't think
I
I'm
think
not
a
going to be
lot of
watching you right
people,
when it comes out.
yeah, she's going to be watching you, and that's awesome. Look at the people love that so much. Paige, um, I know I'm not the only one that had that response. I think everybody that's here had that same response. 20 years, um, I can say you'll have accomplished many, many, many things by then. But I believe you. You're going to do that. You're going to do
Thank
that.
you. Thank
Um,
you.
yeah. Do you want to have a family one day as well?
Yes, that was going to be
Yeah.
the other thing that I wanted to say. It's always been my dream to have a family. I want 4 kids. I want 4 kids and a wraparound porch. But I will be having 3 of my own, and then my fourth will be adopted from Guatemala. That is where my sister's adopted from. So I will be
Oh wow.
adopting from Guatemala as well.
I love that. And I'm a foster kid.
Yep.
So um, me as well. When I have a family one day, I want to foster and adopt. Um, that's really important to me.
Yep.
So, and I just want to share one thing that you inspire me with, and that you empower me to do is not just being yourself unapologetically, but which you are, and I think that's super important. But there's a certain sense of giving back that you have. Like, there's a lot of people that can be, oh yeah, this is me, take it or leave it, that's it.
Yep.
But there's a certain part of you, I've always noticed it, that wants to share with others. Like
Yep.
you wanna, yeah, it's like at any opportunity, if you can open other people's hearts, you're gonna do it. And
Yep.
you're challenging me to do more of that. I want to do
Oh.
more of that. Yeah.
No, I mean, for me, service in terms like service in any general thing has been such a big part of my life. I mean, in college, I had a scholarship that was literally I did 400 hours of community service over my 4 years. And for me, I love community service. It's at the root of who I am. And for me, so many people help me get to where I am. So I only feel like it's my duty and my job to give the gifts that I've been given back to and as many people as I possibly can. In college too, I got the opportunity to do 2 different service trips. I did one in Pittsburgh and one in Houston for a week, and we
Oh
literally got
wow.
to go to those communities and just like serve. And for Houston, I got to go right after Hurricane Harvey hit, and I was like rebuilding homes. I mean, it was amazing. Like any way that I can give back. Obviously, I'm not a home builder. I'm not a general contractor like Christian said he was. Um, but I'm not a home builder. But it was so much fun to get back in that way. And I also learned. You learn so much by giving back. You learn so much through service, and I will stand by that point until the day that I die. You
Absolutely.
learn so much from the people you serve as well when you are doing service. And I mean, I recommend it to anybody. If you have anything local that you can volunteer your time at, do it.
I love that.
Do it.
Um, yes, I will save this live. It will be in, some people have been asking me to save the live. I will be saving it. She is guest number 1 in my empowerment series, the power behind what inspires us. And, sometimes, I'm a very upbeat, energetic person as well. And, a lot of times people will say to me, Julian, like, I wish I could be happy like you all the time. And what people won't see is, it's not always easy.
No,
It's not always easy. But we keep trekking on.
we
We have
do.
to keep.
And it's a mindset too. It's a mindset, and it's you have to set yourself up in a place of, you know what, no matter how this day's going to go, I'm on it. Like, no matter
Yeah,
how today's going to go, I've got this. Or no matter how today's going to weave or things like that, I've got this. And for me, that mentality is just looking at everything with the glass half full instead of half empty, at least trying my best to do that. I'm not 100% accurate in doing that all the time. But the best that I can do that in any situation, I'm thankful for that.
Absolutely. Wow, Emily's mom. I'm watching you in the shower, and I hope my iPhone doesn't fall. Wow, that's commitment. Okay, that
That is
is
some
commitment.
commitment right there.
I have to say, wow, thank you. Now, before we wrap this up, which cheers.
I know, for
Um,
real.
I know I don't want to wrap this up. I love that we were like, oh yeah, this might be a 20-minute IG live. We're already at like 46 minutes. Um, so you know how sometimes we're told to see the beauty in the little things? I
Yes.
want you to name me five. This is going to be a question I'm going to ask every guest.
Okay.
The 20-year one is one of the one of the questions I'm always going to ask. But another one is this. What are five little simple things that bring you joy and inspiration that people might not expect you to say?
Oh, that might not expect me to say.
Yeah, five little joys. One of them for me are these yummy bears, which are so good. By the way, they're not paying me to say this. Okay? They're not paying me to say this, although they should. It's plant-based, naturally sweetened, strawberry kiwi.
Oh, are they gluten
Maybe,
free?
actually, let's see. Low sugar, high fiber, naturally sweetened. I don't know, it might be. But all I can say is now they should pay me, right? Come on,
They
everyone.
should.
They should. They really should. So another one is just seeing, for me, is seeing the wind blowing through trees. Another one for me would be just my iced latte in the morning. Like the simple little
Okay.
joys.
Okay.
What are five for you?
Um, okay. First one is doing makeup. I
Doing
love doing
makeup?
makeup. Secondly is going on a really good run, like getting a really good sweat in after a workout and feeling really satisfied that I just kicked some butt.
Totally.
Number three right now is iced or hot chai lattes. Number four is seeing my students smile whenever they smile through their mask, like seeing their eyes just beam makes me so happy. I'm just trying to think of one that like people wouldn't expect from me. Number five, oh, is eating chocolate chip cookies.
Like
That is a small thing that I love.
any specific kind, or could it be any kind
Just
of chocolate chip cookie?
any kind of chocolate. I mean, obviously I'm gluten free and dairy free, so there's like two out there. But no, I would say those are five like unexpected small things.
I love that. And what are small unexpected things for you guys that are watching? Little joys that you have. Put
Yes.
some
Oh
in the
my God.
comments.
Comment your little joys.
Yeah. Comment your little joys. We want to hear
Comment your
joys.
little joys.
Comment. Whoa, you can sing too.
I am a singer, yes.
You just keep popping out with like
I am a
amazing.
singer. I mean, a musical theater.
That's true. What are your little joys, people? Those
my
are good
top
ones,
five
Paige
LeBlanc
said.
Crystal fam.
Paige said those are good ones. Someone else sent me a message saying, oh, when you lie down in a clean bed for the first time.
Oh my God, that's a really good one. You know what I also love? The smell of rain.
Yes.
I love the smell of
rain.
Rain.
I love that. Playing ukulele and singing, someone just wrote.
Yes. Playing piano and playing saxophone for me are two of mine as well.
Oh my goodness, I love this.
$3 bundle from McDonald's.
Yes. Musical theater, performing, Randy. The smell of a new book, a nice bath. Wow, I love these, everyone.
You know, I also love a really good bath. I love that.
You put
Practicing
the bath bombs
meditation.
In? Who said that?
Patrick Fogarty.
Oh, one
singing
of my
to a great song on the radio. Guys, singing like when the radio's on and you are by yourself and you are hitting that jam, you feel so empowered.
Mm-hmm. My puppy. Someone just said my puppy.
Yep, my puppy, having a shower, talking to someone new but feeling like you've known them forever.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one.
That's like us right now.
Yes, it really is.
I've known you. Hugs. Someone just said hugs.
Someone said the Big Brother theme song.
Clean laundry. Okay, clean laundry. Yes, Christina, but it's such a hassle to get the clean laundry.
Yes.
For me, anyway. I don't like the
I
before
literally
part.
have my laundry sitting right behind this ring light so that you can't see it.
I don't like the before part. I'm like,
No.
the before part of the laundry isn't fun. Any other final ones? Frappuccino from Starbucks.
Always so good. I'm a huge fan of the, what's it called? I haven't gotten it in a while. It's the caramel ribbon crunch frappuccino. That's it.
Okay, you just snapped again, so I'm gonna do it too. Wait, can we just like do it like a few times in a row? Everyone that's watching, do it too.
Everybody snap. Snap. Somebody said
Walking
fresh
in
snow.
puddles.
The only
Fresh
thing
snow?
about fresh snow is that literally the hour after it turns disgusting. So.
And Brittany, smile. Oh, okay. That was cute. That was cute.
Oh.
Caramel, absolutely.
These were a lot of good ones.
Yeah, I have a few in the DMs as well. Hold on. Ooh, interesting. Charging your iPhone right when it's about to die. I love that.
That is a simple thing.
That's a great simple joy, actually.
Yeah.
I love
No,
that.
for sure.
And I think it's good to remind ourselves of the simple stuff too, because
Yep.
we set goals, big ones or medium-sized ones, but we also forget those little simplistic things that bring us inner happiness. We can't forget those.
No.
Can't forget about those. Oh, there's another one there. Towels out of my dryer, going skiing and blasting music on the chairlift.
Oh, I'll have to try that.
Love you guys and this interview. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I thought we would bring our special. I knew Brittany and I would bring something different.
Oh my! I love this so much.
This is fun.
Oh, for sure. I'm just honored to be your first guest. Just thank you. This has literally been such a good time.
It's been such a good time. Getting a morning text. Getting a text in the morning. Depends what kind, though. I don't love getting texts in the morning that are like, you need to call me kind of thing. I don't like waking up to that.
No. That gives me anxiety.
Same here. Do you have anything like when your anxiety goes up to help? Like, I know you said breath work.
Breath is
anything
huge
else
for me. Honestly, if like in times of anxiety, I would just try and distract myself. Like that is usually how breathing and distracting myself is usually how I come down.
Yeah, I'm similar as well in terms of like sometimes just getting busy with work is what can help me with that.
Yep.
Thank you so much, everyone. I want to thank the incredible, marvelous, wonderful, astounding, tremendous, inspiring, incredible, invaluable Brittany D'Angelo. Is that how Brittany D'Angelo?
Brittany D'Angelo.
Brittany D'Angelo, even better.
Yes.
Brittany D'Angelo from Big Brother season 23 in the US, but also a TikTok star, also a martial arts queen, and an empowering voice for people who need their voices heard. And I just so appreciate you sharing your inspiration, you sharing more about what inspires you and what inspirations you gather from. How can people follow you on your channel?
So I have Instagram, obviously. So if you're not already following me on Instagram, go hit the follow button. But obviously my Instagram and my TikTok are the same handle. They're both Brittany_D'Angelo. And then Twitter is just Brittany D'Angelo. And we have some Twitter. I'm still learning, but I do have it. But it's just so weird to like see my name and see a check mark next to it. It's kind of odd. But all of my accounts, you'll know it's me because I have the check. So I'm just, just
don't follow.
If you're not already following, go hit the follow button and come join our fam because we love you.
Follow the real Brittany D'Angelo.
The real, not the fake.
Love you,
the
Britt.
real.
Here's some. Oh, this is so sweet. Love you, Britt. You're amazing. So fun to watch this. Hands down, my favorite Big Brother house guest. Someone just said I'm following you right now.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Brittany. We will chat again soon.
Yes,
Thank
we will.
you, Instagram bursts. We also love you. You guys are incredible. Christina, we love you too. Okay,
bye
everyone.
I love you all so much, Julie. Thank you all so much for watching this, and thank you so much for letting me come on and be your guest number one.
I heart you.
Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.